All right. So, good win at home. It's good to be back home. You talk about how important homecoming is to a lot of people. And, and our guys did a really good job staying focused this past week. This is a game we've been looking forward to playing for a year now. Felt like last year when we played them, we certainly didn't play our best brand of football. And, win or lose, you just want to feel like you played well and you played the brand of football that you put out there. So tonight, that was the challenge all week. We talked about wanting to play the game a certain type of way. We talked about wanting to be physical. We talked about wanting to establish the run. And we talked about, truthfully, wanting to finish, better than we had in a couple games. And, I think there's value in every one of them. Our teams learned how to win in different ways. And certainly tonight was really good to go out there and perform to the level that I thought we were capable of performing. So, proud of these guys. Absolutely love this team and everything that they're about. Pretty cool tonight for Kenny to get the record at homecoming too. So a lot of good things happen tonight. Certainly there are some things we need to clean up at the end there a little bit, but all in all, proud of these guys and happy with the way they performed.
Coach, you said you wanted to make a point to establish the run. Tonight, what impressed you most about your run game against Arkansas State?
Last year that we knew they were going to go back to doing a bunch of things they did last year that they had a lot of success with last year. And they did. They ran a bunch of line games and a bunch of things like that up front, which they don't do a ton of on tape. So we knew that was going to happen. We challenged them all week, to be ready for it. You got to play with discipline and technique and pad level. And I thought those guys up front and on the edge did a heck of a job. We played with inside hands with pad level. And I just thought that we did a great job of setting the tone there in the run game.
Coach, you talked about wanting to play your brand of football. Obviously, I think this was a season high in total yardage that you were able to put up today. But do you feel like this was kind of you guys' most complete game this season, offensively, defensively?
Kind of feels like it, right now, haven't been out there, live, coming off the field. I think we slumped a little bit offensively kind of in the middle of the year, Southern Miss and a couple games in there. I felt like we kind of slumped a little bit and weren't playing the way we wanted to. But our defense started playing well. And those are things that, good teams, you win ball games in a bunch of different ways. So for us, it felt really good. I felt like we were kind of clicking on all cylinders. But we'll go in the tape and see. But, yeah, coming off the field, I feel like that was probably the best we've played all year, collectively. But the challenge is to do it better next week. And that's what we've talked about all year. You're always looking for more and you're always trying to get more. And, this team, this group of guys here, they've embraced it. They haven't, we come in every week and we tell them the good, the bad, the ugly, and they take it. They crave coaching. And, you're just seeing guys, man, week after week, different guys here and there that are playing well, that are making plays for us, and that makes it a whole lot of fun.
The defense, in the first 6 drives, you had 4 punts, a turnover down, and a pick. That's pretty impressive.
Is that good? Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good. That's you got to do those things to try to get out in front of people, because this team, offensively, you saw, when they got some things going, they've got some weapons on offense, and they've got some guys that kind of scare you a little bit going into it. I think getting off to a fast start was huge. Naturally, you'd like to score a touchdown on the first drive and all that stuff, but, those things happen like that sometimes. But they were able to get us the ball back, short field, kind of flip the field. And, you can't say enough about what those guys did on defense. I think our guys were ready to play. We had a good plan. You gave up probably more yards than you wanted to in the end, but we got to play a bunch of guys on defense today. A bunch of guys got their first snaps and got to play, and they screwed it up a little bit. That's okay. We're going to fix it. We're going to coach them hard and all that stuff, but I think the value – and getting to play a bunch of guys far exceeds, the points that end up on the board.
It's particularly you were a little short-handed in the secondary, facing some good receivers and a
Right.
good quarterback. Talk about the job you think some of those guys did maybe that don't play as much earlier in the year in the secondary where you were short-handed.
Thought we did a really good job, kept it in front of us. Thought we tackled really well, ran to the football well. A lot of their stuff is off of the RPOs and things like that. So naturally, they're going to have some gimmies. You start fitting the run, they're going to have that. But I thought we did a good job of keeping them contained and getting them on the ground. So, it's as cliche as it sounds. It has to be the next man up every time you play. I mean, we have guys on our team, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm so proud of this group because we got guys on our team that are second, third string, whatever. It doesn't matter. They prepare and they practice like starters every week. And when they get in the game, they play well when their team needs them. And that's hard to do. One of the hardest things to do is to be a backup. And you have to prepare like a starter. And then when your number's called, you have to produce for your team. And we have guys, week after week that do that. And I don't know. It's hard to, for some people, maybe it's hard to grasp how special that is. But that's what makes our team what they are. They love each other. They play for each other. And, they want their opportunity. Everyone wants the opportunity, but they prepare. If you wait until it comes, it's way too late. And I think that's what separates some of these guys from other people is that they prepare way before the opportunity ever comes.
In Washington, there was, I don't know, a month or so ago, it looked like he was slumping or whatever a little bit. He wasn't doing a whole lot. In the last few games, he's been really explosive.
Yeah, Dre's a good player. He started the season as a starter. We got those three guys that are all really good and got hurt. Those guys played really well. That's just the way that it is sometimes, you just got to keep clawing away, and when your moment comes, you just got to be ready. And, he worked every day, smile on his face every single day, never complained about a thing, and he's had some really big moments for us this year.
Coach, now 8-1, how does that feel? I know at the start of the season, a lot of people want to put you guys at that position, so how does that feel?
It feels good because I think everyone in here believed that we could and would be here. We have something we say over here. We say it all the time. It's one of the core values that we talk about is you have to ignore the noise, and it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It doesn't matter what people outside of our building say. It has no effect on what happens here. The only thing that matters is that we've got true belief, we've got a unified vision, and we got people that are willing to work for it. And in January, we talked about being in this position. And we made it very clear what our goals were this year. And we didn't shy away from, telling anybody that wanted to hear. We believe from the beginning, and that's all that ever mattered. So, this is a team of guys that believe in each other. And at the end of the day, it takes belief first before you ever have an opportunity to be in this position. And, we're at 8-1. It's not where we want to be in the end. But certainly tonight was a big step to get there. You got 3 more huge games. But right now, we're excited about where we are. I'm proud of where we are. We'll get back to work tomorrow, and we'll start trying to work on the next one.
Was that mostly cramping? A lot of guys, not as many as Texas State game, but a lot of guys on the after plays.
Yeah, we had a couple of them cramping. I think T-Lou's got like a little hip pointer, something like that. But Bayless was cramping. We had a couple of guys get the wind knocked out of them. I think we got a couple upper body injuries, so we're going to have to see what that looks like. So hopefully it's not too bad. But yeah, that wasn't our best moment. We kind of take pride in how we prepare. So to have guys cramping, we got to revamp that, and our process there, because that's certainly, to me, that's bad ball when you got guys that are cramping. So we got to do a better job of talking about it, getting them to do it. And certainly our players have to do a better job making sure that they're hydrated.
Coach, your team has a lot of experience. How much has that experience played a part in where you are right now with your record?
I think it has everything to do with it. I told him this last year. I told him as a team, I said, if we stay together, we'll be special. And everybody knows what I'm talking about. In today's world where everybody's looking to jump ship. I told him, I said, if we stay together, we'll be special because we've been through the fire. We've been through hell and back. We've lost more games in ways that you can't imagine. And I think it had a lot to do with not being very mature and not handling things the right way. And, I'm appreciative and I'm proud of these guys for coming back. Every one of them had an opportunity to go somewhere else. They believe in each other first. I'd like to think they believe in me and what we're trying to do here. But most importantly, I think they're proud to be Raging Cajuns. And I knew we'd be really good when we had when we got all these guys to come back. When every one of them said they were coming back, I knew we were going to have a good team. I'll let you in on a secret. I told the team this the other day. The only person that voted for us in first place in the West was me. So there it is. So I believed in it way before it happened, and so did they. So for us, yeah, I think that had a lot to do with it.
Coach, I know you talked about it earlier. You know, you played the best brand of football, 579 yards, 6 for 6 in the red zone. Robbie could interchange for Lance. Zyla could interchange for Elijah and Vice and everybody. How much easier is it for you as a play caller that you got guys that can interchange and run your scheme the way you want to run?
We don't have many plays where it's like, hey, make sure this guy's in there, truthfully. You know, I told Rob in the locker room, I said, man, I was so happy you were in there for the, you know, the double move that he called on the sideline. He does a great job running it. You know, Rob's one of those guys, I think that's probably a little bit of an unsung hero for us. Shows up every day. He works. He plays his tail off. He practices hard. He's got a great attitude every day he's here. And he'll be the first to tell you he's grown up so much in every area of who he is as a person. You know, we have so many that are like that. You don't have to, there's not, you know, there's been times around here where it was like certain plays were only for certain people. And we don't have to do that. You know, I've said it before. It's so much fun coaching in this offense because every week you try to design, okay, how can we get a shot maybe to the Z? How can we get a couple shots to the X? How can we get something for the tight end here? How can we get the H the ball? And it makes it a lot of fun. It's not how can we get Rob the ball. It's the Z's because him and Jake and, you know, Cambry when he's rolling in there at H or Z, whatever it is, those guys, they just show up and play. And, you know, receivers are, you know, they have this rap for being this really selfish group. There's none of that in that room. And it's unbelievable because, I mean, they literally it doesn't matter. I mean, Rob had a great night tonight. If he wouldn't have caught one ball, he'd be just as happy in that locker room about the way that the game went. And it's rare. It's something that I value. It's something that I appreciate. But these guys know they have a chance any night. Hopefully they know any night that they go out there, they have a chance to have a special night. And I think it makes it fun for me because I tell them all the time, I don't know who's going to make the plays tonight, but I know somebody's going to make them. It's always fun at the end when you kind of get the stat sheet and you look down and you got to see who made them. And I'm happy that, you know, Rob made a bunch of them tonight.
And then with you guys, you know, one win away from clinching the West. You said you was the one that voted for him to do that. I mean, job not done. But how do you keep these guys rolling each and every week to play these games?
Well, first of all, they have focus and discipline, all right? So I'm going to give them the credit absolutely first and foremost. I think our staff has done a really good job, though. You know, we do talk a lot about the past, and we talk about what has happened. I think the past is a great indicator of the future unless you make changes and you do things differently. We messed a lot of stuff up last year. We didn't handle some moments very well. We followed our best wins with our worst losses, right? And that's a sign of immaturity. So we talk about those things, and we've done it all year. And, you know, this game was really important to us tonight. And everyone who was on the team last year, it was very important. But we have coaches and we have players that weren't here last year, and they embodied it as much as anybody. So it's just a team that has one focus on one thing, and it's 1 week at a time, and it's one game at a time. And it's cliche, it's whatever you want to call it, but that's what these guys are. And, you know, all we're going to talk about this week is going out there and playing our best game. You know, last year we followed up our best win with our worst loss. Don't return the favor. If someone's going to beat us, make them beat us. And you can live with that. You just don't want to feel like you gave one away. And these guys deserve the success they're getting. They deserve all of the credit. But we don't listen to that crap either because it doesn't really matter. All that matters is what we do from Sunday to Friday in this building to get us ready to go out there and play Saturday. And that's what we'll do this week. Thanks, guys.